Every child is born blessed with a vivid imagination. Walt Disney.
Greetings, young Padawan. I'm really in the mood for Atari because the show will go on in 2 languages actually, so double the work and triple the stress.
There were some changes in my interest. I did a lot of programming and also learned a bit in retro and even antique technology. Somehow wood grain connects everything together.
For a small warm-up, let's take a look at my favorite Atari 2600 expansion.
The Coleco Kidbit that I had first seen in the review of the Nerd, and that was maybe the only time I heard about it.
And it was actually a really interesting trial to expand the abilities of the console.
You must be familiar with Coleco for their console called ColecoVision that became the kryptonite of the VCS in the very first console war. It was really ahead its time with arcade level abilities and horrible controllers. Only a few might know that Coleco had done a great job with cloning as well. The first expansion for the ColecoVision was a device compatible with the Atari 2600 cartridges. Basically it was an Atari 2600 using the power supply and RF modulator of the main console.
And they made a standalone version called Coleco Gemini.
With this nice leather-like shaped plastic. Unfortunately, I don't own the original Fairy Tales yet. It has a joystick pedal combo.
Coleco created a precedent after Atari sued them because the compatibility of these consoles cut their profit, and it ended with the success of Coleco.
If you make a console without copying the parts, you don't break the law.
The 2 companies made a deal. Coleco continued making these consoles, but they paid a license for Atari.
Getting back to the topic, the Atari 2600, let's say, has no circuit integrated Beethoven. Most of the tones are out of tune and you only have 2 channels.
There are 2 solutions for saving the day.
One is adding other channels via hardware. It was made in Pitfall 2 and the ARM-chip version of DPC Plus still upgrades the abilities of many games.
Coleco made something really different, like if you would check gas leaking with matches, but you can just say no to this result.
I'm not surprised by the creativity because it was created by Ralph Beer, who also invented the whole video game industry by creating the brown box and Magnavox Odyssey. The Kidbit is a slightly modified hand recorder. I have a really similar one for my supercharger. The main thing is the cable that connects to one of the output channels and the microphone input of the cassette recorder to the second joystick port of the console.
Without it, the device can be used as a regular tape recorder.
To present that, I think there's no better product than the operette hits covered in disco by Farkas Balint.
Hajtás, hajtás, jössze velem, sarkantyúmat összeverem, várt a taparipa híd határon.
Plugs on the cable connect to 4 pins on the 8-pin connector, one for the right and down directions, the one for the microphone goes for the 5V and input 3 pins, the last one is for measuring the position of the 4th pedal by checking in every split of second the state of the capacitor if it is discharged yet. It's also able to check our transient ischemic attack.
That is also TIA for short, like the display chip for Atari. How beautiful life is.
Let's talk a bit about how it works. The right channel of the stereo cassette has the songs, the left one communicates with the console. On my test program you can see the digital Morse. The bit is high by default, but if it produces a sound it will be set to low.
This game tells the recorder if it should pause the tape.
Also sends a signal for the console so it will know which cassette was inserted, so which minigame should be loaded.
I'm a bit proud of myself that I had searched in the compiled code of the game and I found the registers and values those are supposed to control the recorder.
SVACHA is for reading the 2 joystick ports, while SVACNT is for setting the direction of flowing data by my knowledge. With my little test program you can see that saving 80 and 81 pauses and resumes the tape, while saving 01 and 03 to SVACNT will mute and turn on the speaker of the recorder.
After I had discovered this, I decided that I have to use this fun smurfing device for my next project, but before I jump into the abyss of binary algebra, let's see what kind of games were originally made for this device. I only own half of the games released. This one right here. 2 games in total. Not great, but not terrible.
Coleco is already familiar with Smurf. The game about the rescue adventures in Gargamel's castle was Smurfed as well, and it was pretty decent on the Atari 2600, despite the repetitive gameplay with big obstacles like the fence or the stairs. This one is a bit closer to the Smurf everydays. Greedy, Handy and Hermit Smurf do their job and you need their own cassettes.
Don't panic, you can play the games without the cassettes.
With a little overcomplicated combination.
In the description you will find information about what to do if you want to play it with a Harmony cartridge, a Uno cartridge,
or with Stella emulator. The old abandoned Z26 emulator can handle this game with a not-know method using the ROM of the game and the audio files of the cassettes.
Another case that this device and games were only sold in the US and Canada, and these are all PAL systems, so the colors are really far from what you would expect.
And it's pretty far for sure. With this grey Smurf player wouldn't have a chance. On the title screen some common Smurf goes back and forth before it gets the signal on the beginning of the tape. The very first game is about harmony and you get 2 songs you have to listen to before you could do anything.
A musical vacation with your good friend Harmony. But you have to help me with my song because as you can see, the notes keep falling on the ground. The glue that holds them can't be found. So come on kids and stick around and pick them up for me.
The game is about matching the position of 4 tones or they fell off. You will get 2 other songs after succeeding.
Just talking about Harmony Smurf and songs, I'm pretty sure that all these children's songs are really responsible for children's mental illnesses.
The second cassette was received and sealed, but I couldn't show you it without ripping the foil off.
Wow, I'm just gonna stab my heart with this joystick if the sealed one was the broken one.
Okay, maybe the tape got just lazy. The game of Handy is the most detailed. You have to sort objects by shape, length and color. You can only decorate board by standing under and open or close the doors of the conveyor belt. Sometimes it changed automatic, maybe it's on bug, it's a feature or it's on purpose, who knows.
The color matching part was a disaster because I have the chromacy already.
And the color codes gave in PAL are 2 very similar ones, so this is like a nightmare for me. Before the third game, I would like to ask if this sound effect for walking was really necessary! While I folk with techniques like the easy cap, the televisions and the power supply of this microphone, as usual, I had to listen to this for ages! Greedy had the most unique game. You have to match the color of the cocktail above and challenge your level. If you overkill it, the game cannot do anything with it. It will create cola and you have to pour it out and make environment activists cry. And it will happen a lot. You have red, blue, yellow and white soda originally, but on PAL system, no frog will grow in your tummy. It will explode and even the groundwater will be rotting.
In my opinion, the strange technology and the quality of the games made the Kid with a real gem for any collection. Unfortunately, it became not so popular and faded into obscurity.
For the next episode, I would like to have an easier topic.
I really wanted to show you the Asterix and Obelix game for a long time. Greedy has already made us the magic potion, so come with me.
Did it right, hip hip hooray, but here's what Papa Smurf would say.
Don't count your chickens before they're hatched. Don't count your colors before they're matched.
Yellow is sunny, yellow is yummy. You need just one color